My name is Alan Isaacman. I'm a Regents Professor at the University of Minnesota, and I'm working on a project. I'm completing a book with my wife, Bobby, entitled Dams, Displacement, and the Delusions of Development. My project is about the effects of the building of Cahora Bassa Dam, a dam in southern Africa, in Mozambique on the Zambezi River. When built, it was the 5th largest dam in the world. It was completed in 1975, whereas most developmental economists, and scientists, and engineers celebrated the dam as an icon of development and as an indication that mankind can dominate nature and the biosphere. Our approach is particularly different. It departs radically from this previous set of assumptions. Now, we came to this project by chance. I was writing a book on runaway slaves along the Zambezi River and was invited to the conference to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the dam. And at the conference were a number of hydrologists, engineers, bankers, the director of the dam, all of whom celebrated this magnificent technological feat. And I have to emphasize, it is really a magnificent technological feat. The 500-foot walls, the 5 General Electric turbines brought into the most remote part of South Central Africa. This was extraordinary. But what was absent were the voices and the lived experiences of the 3,000 workers who built the dam, the hardships they suffered, and also the effects of the dam on the people who lived in the lake area where their historic homelands were flooded, and people living downstream where the flood regime and the agricultural system was completely destroyed by the dam. This silence was sort of deafening to us. Now, our account focuses on the notion of displacement. Displaced histories, displaced memories, and displaced people. Well, let me mention first the displaced people. These included first the 5,000 people who lived in the highland areas near the dam site, where the Europeans, out of quote-unquote wilderness, built a town for the European engineers, scientists, hydrologists, and moved out all the Africans who had historically lived on the highlands. Secondly, more than 40,000 people, or approximately 40,000 people, were moved from the area that was erased and inundated by the lake itself. So it was displaced, it's about displaced people, it's about displaced energy, in the sense that the energy, in two respects. First, the energy from the river was exported to South Africa and was not used for development in Mozambique. It was displaced energy in the second sense, in that the energy of the river, the nutrients, which historically had supported agriculture along the alluvial plains, along the floodplains, the nutrients and energy which that provided, which supported this rich farming system, now these nutrients were displaced in the sense that they were blocked behind the dam walls. So in that sense, there was a displacement of energy. And then finally, there was the displacement of memories. To the extent, not surprisingly, that this colonial state provided a wall, constructed a wall of silence around the dam, and prevented Africans, peasants, from telling their stories to the outside world. But it was also an example of displaced memories to the extent that the post-colonial government, first in its socialist form and then in its neoliberal form, also displaced and silenced the memories of the sufferings and the dislocations which peasants experienced. And indeed, the new government is today the government of Mozambique is considering building a second dam downriver, further silencing the voices of and protests of of people living along the river, and also which will exacerbate the ecological and social tensions and crises created by these dams. So in that sense, it's very much about displacement.